Hola. So I think I'm gonna call these ugly sticks. It's my latest salami that I made. It's a traditional. It's like a supersat or supersata for those Italians that just insist on the proper pronunciation. But it's a very thin one. I want a quick dry. I think this will be ready probably in 2, maybe 3 weeks time frame. And it's experimental, you know. It's everything. I like experimenting. See what I come up with. So I got to get some temperature, humidity going in here properly, and we're gonna do. And we did a couple others here. We got so this one's into umai. You know the umai. Umai. I'm gonna put the umai right there. Umai is a semi-permeable membrane that allows moisture to go out without. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Allows moisture to leave without these are in Lucentello casings with what I like to call Grampy Gimbal. Maybe Grampy Grimble? Rubber bands, because he's the one that turned me on to rubber bands. This one is a very light pressure rubber band. We're going to hang that underneath. We're going to hang that with a stainless hook we have right here. Right? I'm going to put that right up here in the front. Actually, I'm going to put that right here in the center row, like there. And then this one here, we use a little bigger rubber band, but we doubled it. So a little tighter. You can actually see it squeezing out. So what the squeezing does is it allows any voids as it begins to shrink, lose moisture, and come together. It allows it to continue to put pressure on it so that we don't have any voids in the center. Voids are bad. Bad voids, bad. Voids are bad. Don't have voids. These. It's hard pulling out one hook. They like to all come out at the same time. So I'll show you what we got here in just a second. All right. So. Woo! So there we go. Now, all of this stuff down here is stuff that's in cure. It's all vacuum sealed bags in cure. Some have been in there for almost 3 years. True story. And it's fine. It's fine. Here's a good example right here. This is number 114. So I'll go back into my book. I know exactly which one this is in. This is a Weaver Copa that was done when I was with Weaver a while back. So much of this stuff over the next week or two, we're going to put into casings, put back into this refrigeration unit. I'm going to put some humidity inside here, although if I keep enough product going, my issue will be removing humidity. So I want to carry the humidity around 65, 75% right now, maybe 80 to start with for the first week. And basically how I'm going to do that, this is very manual. But basically how I'm going to do that's like that. And then come down every once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. You know I got to come talk to my meat several times a day. Here's one that we did a while back with Roosevelt elk right here. And I dried it for a little bit. Then I need to equalize it, which I did here. So now I need to dry it a little more. So I think we're going to go ahead and pull this guy out, put in there, which will help equalize that whole chamber. And since these are all small snack sticks, I'm going to try to avoid mold growth. I'm not going to specifically do any mold 600. This chamber has been, you see they're all Inkbird controlled down there. This chamber has been sanitized when we brought it from the other building to this building, completely washed out, chlorinated, and sanitized. So we don't have any spores of anything going on in there right now. And because the size of these sticks are so small, they're actually in hog casings, 33 millimeter hog casings, which you would normally use for a sausage. We're going to try to run it without mold growth on it. So we're gonna be controlling our humidity really carefully on this one, because it'll go fast. It'll get too hard too fast, and you don't want the outside to case harden before the inside. And you can see the thickness of them. They've all been pressed, and they're all that exact same thickness. So experimental, but we're calling them the ugly salami. And this was my test piece that I ran my pHs on. Started at about a 5.95 and brought it down to about a 5.10. Once I'm under 5.2, I know that I'm in the money. And ironically, I also know that this pH will start to rise back up here shortly. We shouldn't have a too sour of a salami. Did not use any culture on this one. We're just going with a natural. We let it ferment for, let's see, 8:30 last night to roughly 9 o'clock this morning, 8:30, well, whatever time it is right now is when I took it out at 90 degrees. And we got a nice ferment. It smells absolutely amazing. So very excited about this one. Again, experimenting, it's fun. Keep it safe. Use all the right protocols to keep it safe. But experimenting is what you will do things you can't believe it tastes that good with a little experimentation. But again, most importantly, sanitize everything before you start. Make sure you know what the hell you're doing. And if you don't, come take one of our classes. We teach you. Alrighty, so here we are. Now, it's not ideal to have stuff that's in cure in the same refrigeration unit that you're drying and aging. However, limited space, all my chambers are filled right now, and we're just getting by the way we can right now. And that's just life, right? Huh? That's what life is. Again, these are Roosevelt elk salamis that we used one of the fats from our pigs. Roosevelt elk is a very lean meat, but it's, oh my God, it's so amazing and so tender. The Roosevelt elk was given to us by our dear friend Scott Lodge. He's an absolute genius when it comes to aviation coverage in the commercial insurance industry. And a dear friend of ours that he's certainly going to get one of these. We call these chubs. He's certainly going to get one of these chubs, as well as we're going to share some with the entire chub group when that time comes. But we put these back in here because they were drying a little bit too fast before, so we wanted to take them and vac seal them, which gives them a chance to equalize the dryness from the outside to the inside of the salami, or chub as we call it. And that'll help, it'll help pull some of the moisture that's going to be released from all of this stuff in here. It'll help pull some of that moisture back into here, and they'll start equalizing. We've got about 5 more different items. I've got a beautiful piece of prime rib right here. No, this is a loin from Amos. All right, look at the marbling on that loin. That's absolutely gorgeous. But this has been in cure since January, so it's ready to come out of cure. We're going to probably case this either in an umai or there's a couple other things, but a collagen casing would work. I could put this in a big pig bladder, which would be a beautiful presentation. But since it's a big round square piece, I think we're going to probably go with either collagen or an umai. Here we have a Fagerman leg of lamb that has literally been in cure since, check this out, guys. Check this out. Since 21, August of 2021 is how long this leg has been in cure. And this, if you're not familiar with Fagerman lamb products, oh my God, they're the very best in the industry. And they were so generous to send us a bunch of their product to test. And I told them it's going to be a long time. 21's when we moved to the farm. And once we moved to the farm, the only thing we were doing at the time is curing. And we have a lot of stuff in cure. If you cure on an equilibrium, you can cure as long as you like. And we're going to test that theory because I've got stuff in here that's been in here for quite a while. This was done January of 23, so we're a year and a half. This was Amos Prosciutini. This is part of the back hind leg, which would normally be part of the prosciutto, but we separated the prosciutto into 3 different muscles. And I'll go over what those are and how we actually do that separation at some point later. And I've got videos out there already on how we did it. But this is going to be beautiful. We'll take that out. We're going to encase that in a pig bladder, and we're going to hang it. We're going to probably truss it and make it look beautiful. It's going to look beautiful. And very excited about it. Like this guy here, it's going to taste amazing. This pig was born and raised. This pig was raised on our farm. It wasn't born on our farm. But this pig was raised from a little baby on our farm with all the love and care. And you're going to be able to taste what this pig ate when you bite into this. We've got some peppers. I've got the entire recipe of how I made this. But I can guarantee you right now, it's going to be amazing. And this is the difference of buying store-bought charcuterie compared to making your own. You can make it with anything you want. You only have to be safe. Experimenting is so encouraged because you can come up with really anything you want. When you buy something in a store, it's not that it's bad. I'm going to come over here and just close this. When you buy something in a store, it's not that it's bad. It's that they have a recipe that they have to follow, and they produce the same thing over and over. And they're really, really good at it. But the problem is they have to, because of the volume of product that they produce, they have to buy commodity spices. We buy the very best spices that we can get. Most of it comes from Italy or Spain. And most major manufacturers for cured meat products like we're doing here would never be able to afford, they would never be able to sell their product because it is so expensive. But for the home hobbyist, for the guy that wants to impress his friends, I will put my product up against the very best out there in the commodity world. Now, there are some small butcher shops around the country that do absolutely amazing. There's some in Indiana, there's some down in Georgia, and they're small. They're artisan shops. And one day when we grow up, maybe we'll look at something like that. But I really like keeping it small. I like experimenting. I like doing things that you just wouldn't normally think of those flavors going together. And 80% of the time it works beautiful. 20% it's like, whoo, I don't know about that one. But one of the ones that I thought was, whoo, I don't know about that one, turned out to be one of the best things that I ever made. And that's one of the seeds that planted in me early on that, oh my God, you can do anything you want. You can literally put any kind of spice you want in, and you experiment. You see how it works. When you do small salamis like I do with the ugly salami, they don't take long to dry. I mean, literally 2 to 3 weeks. They're dry. You let them, put them in a vacuum sealed bag for another week, let them equalize a little bit, take them back out. Madonna mia, the taste that you get from that, the freshness, no preservatives. Now, when I say no preservatives, we're not using the kind of preservatives they're using in the grocery store, but we are using modern food safety to be able to produce this, but we don't use any cultures or anything like that. So now, that doesn't mean we don't use cultures. On this one here, we didn't. Cultures sometimes add a real nice twang, so to speak. But you can get that same twang the way they did back in the old days by fermenting in a controlled atmosphere with a controlled humidity at a controlled temperature and produce some really, really incredible products. You can take it too far too, and you can make something that's like too inedible. It's like, it's so sour nobody wants to eat it. So it's a really, really controlled science, and you've got to watch it, especially as it gets right to that sweet point on the pH scale. And you got to buy good equipment too. Don't buy cheap crap. You got to buy good equipment to measure the pH properly. But as it gets closer and closer to that pH scale, it moves very, very fast. I mean, you can miss the window by 15 minutes and go beyond. So it's very important that when you get close to that window and you're past the safe point, which is good, right? Then you pull it, drop its temperature to where we want to have it. I generally run my chambers today around 38 degrees and nothing higher. That's not common in our industry, but that's what I do. I learned that from Robert Goodrich years ago. And slower cooling, in my opinion, at lower temperatures, it takes a little bit longer, but the flavor profile that's produced from it, oh my God, it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. So we got a lot of work to do. This basement's an upside down disaster, but we're in the process of building this place out to be able to do lots more of this. This here is some finished product that we have in here. And this one right here, oh, look at this guy. Look at that. This guy here is going to be famous in about a week. This one right here, ho, 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 ho.